Hi guys, welcome back. We are here to do your update for December 2020. I can't believe I'm saying this. Now, this has been a very unique year. A lot of what's going to come through is going to be very unique this month. I'm here to guide you through that process and into 2021 and beyond. This is a very comprehensive report, and this is a really large pivotal point for us collectively. So we're going to dig deep into your astrology charts. We've also got this video where you can stream forward, stream back, and actually link into what you need to listen to. But there are very important aspects inside this video that are going to help you through. So, you're really guided to listen to each section. It's deeply important for you, and it will be changing the collective for the whole of December 2021. Now, key dates are mentioned and key themes. Let's get into the energy. Grab a cuppa, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Okay, moving into this month, we already have Neptune and Pisces direct. Now, in shadow energy, it can take some time to kick up some speed. This is an energy that is quite slow moving. We're also having the conjunction point this month, as well as the energy of both Saturn and Jupiter moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, which is, it's what we've been waiting for moving into 2021. It has really taken a toll on us moving through. So many of us will be very grateful, but it is a transitional stage. You need to attempt to keep as grounded as possible through it. Conjunction points can be very positive. They can bring blessings to you. The day after the eclipse, we are also having Aries and Chiron stationary direct. So again, it will move quite quickly. We do need to pay attention to inside our zodiac signs where that links to, which I will mention. But bear in mind that energy, we will start within the next 1 to 2 weeks feel like we're more energetic. We did have Aries and Chiron retrograde. It was really pushing us down for 6, feeling very tired. A lot of us still were feeling tired last month, due to the fact that Aries and Chiron was still retrograde, to give us that time to really reflect. So it's really healthy that it is moving forward, especially moving into Christmas and New Year. It's going to put us in a better standpoint where we can deeply be in our emotional grounded energy to be able to see and perceive things. Also with Neptune and Pisces going direct, it's going to be doing the same thing. And as we move into January 2021, we will have Uranus and Taurus going direct, where next year it will be making 3 squaring points to Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, Leo. Now, in the last few weeks, you may have felt as though you were Cinderella, trying to get everything done connected to that 4th house, cleaning, preening, getting everything done. And really, it could have been a lot of burdens, maybe trying to multitask. That energy is about to shift. We're also having the eclipse, as I mentioned, in Sagittarius, which is a real unique place. It's both of education. So if you have been upskilling, looking at your education, transforming it, moving into your co-creative energy, you will start seeing the reaps of your rewards, and it's now time to act. So if you're wanting to launch anything and network, this will be the time frame in which you can see some physical forward movement over the next 6 to 18 months, because it is the 5th house placement. So a real great time to be looking at that 11th house placement. And the reason I say that is because the south node is Sagittarius, the north node is Gemini, and your 11th house is activated in this position. And it was kind of like those inklings from the Gemini eclipse that was coming through. So it's kind of done it in a backwards motion. Now, looking back to everything you've learnt and looking back to how you can apply this moving forward, I'll tap it into house by house situation for you within this chart to get the best out of it. But you can tend to find that there can be some forward movement and changes in this domain during the eclipse. So again, if you have been looking at your creativity, your expression, your upskilling and things to that degree, this will really benefit you at this time. You also around this time may have changes in your spiritual connections, changes in your relationships. And this can be moving into mid-month and well beyond into 2021, because we have the energy of Aquarius. your seventh house placement is connected. Now, at the moment, a lot of the frequency from the eclipse with Sagittarius can also bring changes in your spiritual beliefs. And this is really that activation of the south and the north node and what we're needing to transform. So, it can be linking to the ninth house placement, our belief systems, our spirituality, looking at potentially, energies of how we felt connected to people that are passed over, our ancestors and things to that degree. These things can be a spiritual transformative house. So you could be deeply, deeply proud of yourself at this point, maybe transforming and changing. And it's not to say that at this point during the eclipse there won't be both beautiful and difficult situations, but at the same time what it is bringing is an opportunity to transform over the next 6 months. Now, although the conjunction point is occurring on the 21st, there are some aspects I want to mention for your zodiac sign in particular to bear in mind and hold that energy moving forward. Now, on the 13th, we are having Mercury in Sagittarius squaring Neptune and Pisces, and this is both your 5th and your 8th house. And with that, what you will find is both your communication and your thoughts linking to all you have done, both in your education, your spirituality, can be relating to siblings and children, any subjects surrounding that energy, even with the co-creative energy of birthing things. And Neptune in Pisces, the energy of the 8th house, to make those hopes and dreams happen, and maybe even at times feeling alone where you didn't have those frequencies. Now you're going to find the financial aspects and the contracts are going to come in, and where you can actually benefit from it is looking to the north node of Gemini to help support that area prior to that conjunction point. Now, as I mentioned, Aquarius is really the energy of global energy. It can be communication, technology. It's very air-based energy. It can be advertising, and also with your energy of Gemini coming through in your chart, it is the 11th house placement. So tapping into that and utilizing it, networking, really branching out, maybe even if initially with all the education you had, if it's linking into employment, it could be where we are actually monopolizing on that 11th house placement and, word of mouth energy, networking, building up that standpoint that you can tap into advertising and things to that degree. It can be technology based. It can be using media platforms, but this is the area where in your social circle as well, that can be really right under your nose with the Gemini energy of something being local, that you could directly find a solution inside of that to help you move forward at a financial level. Now, during the conjunction point, it is moving on the 17th. We are having Saturn enter Aquarius, and we're also on the 19th having Jupiter enter Aquarius. But on the 13th, we are having a conjunction point in Capricorn. So if you find that you have been working very hard and trying to move your employment forward, or you've been working very hard and you found that emotions and stress have affected your health, you will find after the eclipse in Sagittarius and moving towards this energy, it can start balancing out now. You also might find that once we do move towards the conjunction point, again, it is landing in your 11th house placement. So it's almost being prepared for that transit. Also, you may find your connections, your marriages, contracts, partnerships are really going to be deeply highlighted, and as well as communication is absolutely going to be the key. The requirement inside of this is going to be a pivotal point for your zodiac sign. You will really start attracting great contracts, great partnerships, and have that requirement, especially with Neptune and Pisces moving direct. It will be very much moving to that next level. So if you have had no movement in that area and it has been unstable, you will find moving from mid-month into 2021, these are areas that are going to be deeply highlighted, and we can learn a lot of lessons in that. Lessons in which we have a self-esteem based energy, we have an understanding of what we do and don't like, and we stand in our truth really, and do tend to attract that. But you do have great luck surrounding that, where you can be attracting like-minded individuals, and it may also be very social by nature, but it will be very conducive with who you are, being the energy of Aquarius, where they're going to be very like-minded like you, and it will feel very much like a tribe. Also, when it does come to your partnerships and contracts, you will be building and networking over the next as you move forward, but it will be a main themed area because we do have Saturn in Aquarius for quite a while. Now, Leo, for you guys, on the 30th of December, we are having the full moon in Cancer. It's going to be at 0 degrees, and it does land in your 12th house placement. Now, 12th house is a very unique place. Various astrologers can talk about it as psychology, spirituality. It can be connecting in with Gaia, Source, and our guides and our loved ones that have passed over. It can be a very spiritual point as well. It also can be the house of imprisonment, our psychology, our belief systems, and a purgatory experience. Now, this moon is a full moon, which full moons 9 times out of 10 can bring emotions to the surface. The energy of Cancer can relate to home, but individually at this point it's in your 12th house. Family, home, tribe, connections, emotions. When you move into this point, if you are referring to the past as a compass to the future, it's handy if it's the positive things. If it's the things that you've learned from, and it can be a place where you are going to be meditating upon that. It would be perfectly normal and natural after what we have experienced in the collective to be a little bit wary moving into 2021. But it can be a point where you're stopping, you're reflecting, and with the 0 degree point of the moon, it's almost like the Fool card where there's infinite ways the future can become, and it really does come down to us about how we see it with our abilities. You had the 5th house placement. You've got Aquarius landing in your 7th house placement of marriages, contracts, partnerships, and really, the world is going to be your oyster. So really looking at it that way, pausing potentially and reflecting, and moving into the energy as we move forward. Okay, on to love for you, Leo. Now, the first week, I do hear the term the Cinderella effect, and it is because you have been working pretty hard. Now, if things to do with home have taken up a lot of your energy and you've tried to keep things close to your chest and you felt like you haven't got as much help as you wanted, it is moving forward and it is going to transform. I'm also seeing your health as a key point to keep an eye on, but it is going to ease up as we reach mid-month. That can be healthy boundaries within situations, who takes roles on inside of connections. You don't actually have to be with a person for this frequency to be coming through. I do see a lot of meditation in your chart. Now, there can also be wounds linking to belief systems, culture. It might have been from a past, present, or, situation that you've been with an individual. And again, with the 9th house placement, it can be to do with spiritual belief systems. So this can be that you have a connection or had a connection to a person that potentially with the 9th house was from a different culture, was from a different country, and they can be at a far at the moment, or this can be an old situation that has played out. This, however, is transforming in your life, and I do feel huge highlights from the 19th onwards are going to be all to do with love, but I do feel you're clearing the deck. You're coming to terms with certain things. You're keeping your cards very close to your chest and you're trying to sum this thing up. As we move forward, I'm really seeing with the conjunction point, connections for you are big time on the table. This can be where you guys are very popular. People coming out of the woodworks, people actually professing their love for you. And I do feel this to be a very deeply romantic time. Now, some of this romance can stem over to January, February. We're in the activation stage of it. But I do see a deep, deep transformative sense coming here. Now, this is going to be a connection in which does have your, personality, your interconnectedness with your social attributes. And I do feel like-minded energy coming through. I also see that potentially there can be travel on the cards, moving, and this can be between you and this individual. And potentially even last month, moving into this month, there may be things that you changed on the home front, and we're looking at that as per se. These can also be plans relating to how to balance everything out and how to get the bigger picture of what you want. Also, be very careful during this month because there is a lot of co-creative energy. And with the 5th house placement, this can be pregnancies and births. Now, at another level, pre-warned, forearmed, this also can be brand new beginnings, bringing that situation back or directly attracting, like the laws of attraction, that of what you are ready for inside your love and inside your connections, a balanced, loving dynamic. Okay, let's have a look at your energy of well-being and health. Now, number one is there can be some subjects to do with your health and diet with the 6th house placement. That can be emotions, it can be physical, it can be, all the stresses you've had on you with Aries and Chiron and Mars retrograde. Now, as Aries and Chiron goes direct after the eclipse in Sagittarius, it will go stationary, and as it moves, you will find your vitality will increase. So with that, keeping balanced, and there's a lot of the energy that's been hitting your chart, which has been Capricorn energy, which can be base chakra. So at times we can have lower back pains. It can be pains relating to the direct foundation, our home, our stability. And also, because you are going to be having the romance sector activated, I do suggest pink quartz. There can be a lot of heart chakra and high heart chakra coming up in a sense of releasing and receiving. So with that, I would say that because you are going to attract abundance, it is very heart-centered. This is going to be both abundant in love and abundant financially. And really, be super proud of yourself for all you've achieved and all you're about to achieve. So balancing the heart chakra, using pink quartz, you can do guided meditation, eating the food groups. You can also use green gems as well. That can be linked to heart chakra. The other area I'd love to mention is Mars. Now, Mars is going to be in Aries pretty much up until the end of the year, but next year it's having different transits. It's about every 2 months it's transiting into a different sign. The area I would say for you would be June the 11th. It will be in your house, so pay attention to that time. You may by that stage feel very vital, but it can feel like a soul walk-in. But a lot of what you're working on between now and then, you are going to be a very brand new version of yourself moving forward. Now, largely speaking, the sacral chakra with Sagittarius has also been activated, and that really links to our fear-based frequencies, our ability to move forward, our passions in life, our creative energy. And again, because of the 5th house placement, this can be an area that may be higher or underactive. So keeping an eye on it, eating the orange food groups, doing the guided meditation can actually balance this out. And again, due to the fact that we had Mars retrograde, this will also link into that area for you to get balanced. It is very Jupiter, let's achieve energy. So with it, you will find that you're going to have more vitality. You're going to have more energy to be able to do some of the tasks that you've been tackling on an empty fuel tank. This can be balancing out as we reach mid-month. Let's have a look at the career sector. Now, both in money and work, I do see benefits coming. Now, this benefit for you guys will link to the middle of the month, and that can be with the conjunction point. Now, if you're taking all the steps, it will benefit you where marketing, advertising, and any venture you're directly doing, be it upskilling, completing that, really attempt to get everything done by the first week to the second week max. This is where you're going to be able to really manifest very large rewards for your efforts. You're really needing to have a little bit of time and downtime, and some expenses can be going towards loved ones because you do have the 5th house placement. This can also be to do with your work, money expenses relating to the energy of your employment, the energy of your career sector. If you're running a home-based business, trying to get it all prepared, can even be going into the co-creative energy. Now, I do see subjects to do with Maybe you thinking that you aren't going to grow and it's not going to grow. And I'm really seeing that these benefits by the second week can be coming through. But it can again be your belief systems that potentially the ability isn't going to be there, or that, with what you're doing, maybe you're guided not to. As Neptune's energy proceeds forward, you will be starting to have a lot more clarity. And I do feel that some rewards can come through with this conjunction and moving forward. Now remember, Aries and Chiron is in your 9th house. Now it does by mid-month move forward. Also with the conjunction point, we do have Mars in Aries squaring Pluto in Capricorn. Now with this, it is at the 0 degree point, and squaring can be the difficulty, holding on to belief systems, very fixated, thinking that, endings means endings completely. And it's really about looking outside the box and moving beyond the wound. And I do feel if you have a little bit of faith in yourself, whatever does occur on the conjunction point, understand that moving forward, it is for the bigger picture. So I do feel benefits coming your way, especially linked to your astrology moving into 2021. So anything that you're chop and changing, you're going to be coming through very strong, very much empowered this month, because you do have Sun in Sagittarius. We also have the Moon squaring Mercury. And again, it is making these points where our emotions and our thoughts can be blocking us. So try and be very open-minded during this transit this month, because I do feel if you dare to dream, there can be things that after this ending, because we do have the moon sextiling Pluto, after certain endings, it doesn't have to be negative. It can be beautiful and positive. Okay, some of you maybe during that transit of last month were maybe even considering doing things to change to do with home. That can be, can I work from home? Can I change things around? It could be security orientated. It could be privacy related subjects that come up. As you move forward, you'll find this area is going to lighten. So the way you relate into connections is going to be better. I do see this month to be more a social month for you, being that Sagittarius is in the 5th house placement, and we do have very heavy Sagittarius energy. And I also see by mid-month, this can be really great for your contracts, for networking and things to that degree. But again, it can be a real beautiful gathering come Christmas and New Year, where it feels very conducive and very family orientated. So however you choose to spend that time, I do feel it will be with the people you want and how you want that to be. Now, spiritually, they can be with you in soul spirit. But again, it can be a point with both Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius that moving into that, we're deciding and learning something and looking at the bigger picture of what we're needing inside of connection. So if it doesn't land where it falls and everything's wonderful, beautiful, and perfect, your soul upgrade is transforming this area, and it's an intent that you're going to send out into the ethers, and it is what you're going to manifest towards you in the months coming. Now, due to the fact we did have Scorpio hitting your 4th house placement, I'm really seeing that some of you may have been considering what to do with accommodation. This could have been fair about accommodation, again, upgrades happening at home, really wanting to maybe transform your home or move. And this could be something that between the next energy of where it lands in your 4th house placement of Scorpio, you may be moving by that point. So pay attention to the astrology, subscribe if you haven't, and I can give you updates, and it can give you a bit of guidance as to what can be coming up in the hood with your zodiac sign. One of the big areas I'm seeing for you guys in your dream state is the 12th house placement. Now it's interesting because technically with this full moon in Cancer, it does link to the 12th house, but Pisces also is the house of the 10th house. Now, the big dream I'm seeing for you guys is you're really yearning for life to really move forward to the next level. That can be in all facets and areas where everything is very conducive. People are working with you. Very Aquarian energy moving into 2021. I do see these things coming in, and that's the one area you need to have great faith in yourself. Also with this 5th house placement and moving towards the 7th house of Aquarius, the reflections of what you have gone through, both with the things you've worked on, emotionally and psychologically inside yourself, potentially even finding where you're holding yourself back. That is going to loosen its grips on you now from that 6th house placement in Capricorn. So we'll be really super happy to see that energy go. It still will be in Pluto for 3 more years, but because both Saturn and Jupiter are in Aquarius, we will see both growth and accountability, and very conducive energy where we're working together. So you will attract like-minded energies, like-minded tribes. Your energy of Aries does need to be paid close attention to over the next 7 years, because we do have Aries and Chiron there, and that is the wounded healer. It does link to your spirituality. We're also having the eclipses linking to that. So when Mars goes retrograde, which is not next year, thank goodness. We've already been through that. It really fatigued us. Again, with Aries and Chiron, pay attention to that area. Really do the work on that, because it can be an area that holds you back, limiting yourself, feeling that you can't grow beyond that point. I do feel a lot of growth in your chart, and I do feel a lot of movement. Some of you do have already done the upskilling, and it's about having faith in yourself that you have all the tools inside, and whatever you have learnt in your life, it can be applicable to career. It can be applicable to survival. So it's looking inside yourself like a toolbox and alchemizing that into gold to make the best out of any situation that universe does hand to you, because it's asking you to move towards the energy of Gemini, which can be people helping you. You're not having to hold the whole world up. And the 8th house is all about you having those things of people working with you so that it is balanced like a scale and it does work correctly. Now, the moon in Cancer also at the end of the month, moving into the new year, will link to both our emotions, as I mentioned, and spirituality. This can be where we are tuning into loved ones that are passed over. It can also be where we're trying to find the energy of tribe, which is Aquarius. Again, because it is a 0-degree point, we can be reflecting upon those of who we've lost and that of what we're moving into. So you will find psychically that our loved ones at this point are with us. So in taking a moment and lighting a candle, we can honour them for who they were and lead by example, and maybe look at some of the beautiful attributes they had to move us into inspiration, moving into our future, and hoping to achieve half of which potentially they achieved. On a brighter note, I'd love to thank you, Leo, for all your likes, all your subscribes, and all your comments. It's been fantastic working with you guys. I will see you during the month and into 2021. Please have a very safe Christmas and a happy new year, regardless of your belief systems. Keep safe. I trust that we can move through this safely into 2021 and enjoy the rebuild energy out of the dark and into the light. Now, if you're wanting a booking, again, the link is directly below. I will be available through the silly season, and I'll see you on the other side. For those of you that are new, we cover Twin Flame Path, the astrology. I'm a psychic medium, and any of the moon energies. I come to you live regularly, so subscribe and I'll see you on the other side.